Lives of the Presidents, told in words of one syllable, by Jean S. Remy. Chapter 19. Rutherford B. Hayes. Rutherford B. Hayes was born in Delaware, Ohio, October 4th, 1822. Such a strong, rosy little boy was he, that he had the pet name of Ruddy. His father had a big farm, and a store as well, so he was quite rich, and little Ruddy grew up in a bright and happy home. He came of a race of brave men who had fought and died for this fair land, in the wars of the Revolution and of 1812, and he grew up as brave as they. He and his little sister Fanny went when young to a small school near their home, and the good wise mother helped them with their books at home. Rutherford worked hard at school, and went when quite young to the high school, where he soon stood at the head of his class. He was 16 when he went to Kenyon College, Ohio. Now, though he was so good at his books, he loved sport and fun as well, and he was so strong that he could walk miles on the coldest of days and yet get no hurt. Once he walked all the way from college to his home and back, when the snow lay deep on the ground, and this was 40 miles. He could swim and skate, and knew how to fish and hunt. The boys at college all liked him. He had hosts of friends, and the strong, brave will that kept him at the head in games and sports put him first in his class too. He left college in 1842, and took up the study of law at Harvard College in 1846. He was made one of the bar, and took up practice of law in Cincinnati. When the Civil War broke out, he, as captain of a band of men from his home, did brave, good work. Once he was shot and fell to the ground, but he did not give up. He told his men what to do as he lay there in great pain, and kept up till some one came to take his place as leader. At the end of the war he was a general, and was much loved by his men. He was sent to Congress by his state, and then made its governor for 3 terms. In 1876 he was made president, though some thought by a fraud in the count, and the Democrats said that their man, Samuel J. Tilden, should have been president. While Hayes was at the White House, there was a great labor strike, from the east to the west, on all the railroads. The heads of the roads said that they would not pay the men, in their hire, as much as they had done, and so all the men left their work, and no trains could run, for the men came in great mobs to stop them. At last they rose in arms, and then the troops were sent out to force them to keep the peace. 9 men were killed, and some of the rest were badly hurt. But the men did not give up for a long time. They held Pittsburgh for 2 days, and burned cars and the grain kept in them. Of course, in the end, the law had to be obeyed, and the mobs were made to come to terms and lay down their arms. There was a war with the Indians while Hayes was in the chair, but this was put down by General Howard, and after some fierce fights the chiefs were caught and bound to keep the peace. There was a change made in the way of life at the White House while Hayes was there, for no wine was ever put on the table for guests, or for the President and his wife. This was the first time, and so far the only time, that wine has not had its place at least at the state meals at the White House. Hayes was in Washington for 1 term, and then went to his home in Massillon, Ohio. He died on January 17th, 1893. End of chapter 19. Recording by Greg Giordano. Newport Richey, Florida.